Welcome everyone to yet another interview. Today I was lucky and privileged enough to talk with Tomm Moore and Ross Stewart, directors of WolfWalkers, coming soon to Apple TV Plus. So please do check it out if you have the chance. And if I had a word to describe this interview and these gentlemen, was just they're cool. They're really cool. I felt so comfortable. I felt like I was talking with two friends on a pub, maybe just drinking a beer, and it was just one of the most relaxed interactions I ever had with the celebrity, with someone I admire. So just really cool. Unlike yesterday's interview, we don't go into much detail about any specific scene. I just talked to them about their process and how they create their stories, how they come up with them, and of course any further projects that they have coming up, and even some unexpected projects that Tomm shared that he had coming up, still related with Wolfwalkers, as well as Stewart's very, very interesting plan that he has for the next year or so. So please enjoy the interview. And once more, in case they're watching, thank you so much, Tomm Moore and Ross Stewart, and congratulations again on Wolfwalkers. Enjoy. Welcome everyone to yet another LFF interview. Today I'm joined by Ross Stewart and Tomm Moore, directors of Wolfwalkers. Gentlemen, thank you so much for giving me your time, and congratulations on the movie. It's really spectacular. One of my favorites of the year thus far.
Wow,
Thank you, Ryan.
thanks a lot, man.
Thanks very much.
Great.
And I wanted to ask, how does your, I mean, in generally, but for this movie specifically, how does your process go? Do you go to like the lore and the fantasy side of it first, and then find the kind of human connection that is in this film with fathers and daughters and mothers and daughters and that family connection? Or is it the other way around?
I think it's probably the lore and folklore first, like the little kind of nugget of the story, and then we build the characters, lives through that, and focus more on the personal connections within that. But I think the both of them kind of evolve continuously, on the same path.
Yeah, this is fantastic. And Ross, for you, this is your first tackle at you're not alone in directing, of course, but this is your first tackle at writing and directing a feature, or at least credited. Forgive me if there's something I missed, but you've been in art department, you've done so many things. But how was it for you? Was it a lot of pressure, or were you just excited at the opportunity?
It was a mix of both. I was excited at the start, but then there is a huge amount of pressure. You realize that like all of these people working, like they're depending on on the direction that you give them, and you don't want to make mistakes. But luckily I had Tomm there. Tomm himself had worked on a segment for The Prophet, directed by Roger Allers, a few years before we started working on Wolfwalkers. So we kind of tested the waters on that project to see if it would work, and luckily enough it did.
Fantastic. And Tomm, you've directed alone, you've co-directed with other people, and now you're co-directing again. How different is it when it comes to making the decisions for that the story takes?
There's strengths and weaknesses, I think, to both processes. I think I would only be able to co-direct with somebody like Ross or Nora, people I've had a long working relationship with, because sometimes it takes a certain amount of compromise, certain amount of discussion. But generally, yeah, it's much less lonely. When you're directing on your own, sometimes you have to be the only one taking the flak for the decision, even if everybody else disagrees. At least I have a partner in crime now.
we could do the whole good cop, bad cop routine.
Yeah.
And take turns.
Who's the good cop between you two, and who's the bad one?
It depends on which departments.
yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. It was really good because I was able to be the bad cop, say, with the background department that Ross focused on. If I had a retake, Ross was like, "Oh, Tomm wants us to change it." But if it was animation, it's like, "Guys, I know, but Ross wants to do it, so okay, we better do it."
Fantastic. And I know I haven't said this to you yet, but you made something that I don't say very often or even at all in 2020, and that is you made a movie that looks like nothing else out there. And I mean this in a very good way. Like every shot is like a beautiful tapestry. Of course, it holds that similar look and feel to the rest of the movies from the same studio and that you directed. But how do you approach this in terms of, okay, I want this to look completely different from anything else, given colors, lighting, and shadows and everything? How is your process at tackling that?
It's not, I don't think we deliberately do it. I think this is a culmination of stuff we've been working on since Secret of Kells. Like Ross was
Yeah,
art director on Secret of Kells.
yeah.
And so these are ideas and themes and but visually stuff that we've been kind of developing for a long time. So we didn't try to be different. I think we actually took reference from maybe the reference we took was diverse, but we definitely took reference from a lot of things like the Tale of Princess Kaguya from Japan, from French comic books, and of course from the artwork of the time period. Like so, we tried to take reference not from other Western cartoons, but mostly from fine art or art from the off the beaten track, and then you kind of mix it all up in a big stew of your own taste and everything, and you hope that what you do is original. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we have to give credit to like the concept artists that
Yeah.
worked with us, because like Tom himself might have ideas, but it's really the artists that end up putting the work on the paper, you know, and the look of Wolfwalkers would have come from artists like Maria Pereira and Clara de Frutos, and like we had like a team of maybe about 8 scene illustrators. They really helped lock down the style of the film.
Yeah, congratulations to just everyone who worked on this film, because it's really really amazing. And was there anything? I know it works differently in animation, but was there anything that at one point even made it to maybe storyboards, but you had to eventually cut? Any idea that just didn't make it to the final cut that you had, but you really wanted it?
We had to
Um,
rewrite the whole first act.
but
Oh,
Yeah,
I think after we rewrote the whole first act, we still had a scene that got really far. It got as far as layout, and we even posed it out, and the animators were fighting over who got to animate it. And then we could, because we realized that we didn't, it was about Maeve and her mother. It was a little bit of backstory of Maeve and her mother. And we realized that we didn't want to go in 2 tracks at the same time. And that it was best to stay with Robin until Robin met Maeve, and to keep Maeve kind of mysterious until she met her. And so everybody really wanted to animate Maeve's mum, and the voice actor did a lovely performance. And it was kind of like as if the first act was going to parallel show Robin and Maeve. And we realized that we couldn't do that. We needed to focus on one. And so that was painful. But the bonus was that when myself and Maria, one of the co-art directors, were working on the comic book version, we managed to put those scenes back in.
oh
So we
wow.
have the comic book has a little bit of a broader focus at the beginning than the movie. Yeah.
Oh wow. I hope I can find it. I'm curious now
Oh
to see
yeah,
it.
it's going to be beautiful. Yeah, it was adapted by a guy called Sam Satan, and it's published by Little Brown. So yeah, people should check it out. I'm really proud of it.
Fantastic. And you brought it up quickly, Tom, but how was the casting for this film? Because it's not oftenly talked about for animation, but of course you got Sean Bean, Simon McBurney. But how was it for those less known actors to get him into this film?
Oh, I mean, for us, they were like massively first choices a lot of the time. I mean, Sean Bean, when we were designing the character of the dad, we were doing impersonations of him from like Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings and stuff. So that was really fun. It was a little bit harder to find our Oliver Cromwell, but it was actually our editor, one of our editors, Dara, who met Simon at the premiere for Breadwinner, because he was
Oh,
friends with Angelina Jolie, who was the producer on that. And he showed us clips of Simon, and it was one of those actors that when we saw him, we were, oh, we know this guy. He's amazing. He was in
yeah.
Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy or whatever. And then we heard his voice, and of course he was perfect. And we knew he could bring the right level of sort of menace and depth to the character. But I mean, the kids, I mean, Ross, I remember when Ross first heard Eva Whitaker's audition, and she'd never done anything before, but Ross was like, oh my God, I love this kid's voice. It's perfect.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that
She
was
was a
amazing.
bit more of a gamble, like, because she hadn't done any professional acting before.
Hmm.
You know, she'd just done school acting and amateur dramatics around where, like, the town where she lives. So it was so it was a bit more of a gamble to take on an actor like that. But she had such energy and such a character that, like,
Yeah,
she'd win you over. You know, it was fantastic.
for
And
sure.
then
And
Honor was so professional. So Honor had done so much already. So it was a lovely combo, you know.
yeah, everyone is fantastic in this film. So congratulations. Last question, as I'm afraid, unfortunately, we're running out of time. But have you got anything on the pipe that you're starting to work on for your next project, either together or separate?
Well, I mean, we just finished a short film for Greenpeace that I'm excited to release now at the end of October as well. And I co-directed that with Fabian Erlinghauser. And then Nora Toomey is in the middle of production. and it's amazing. She's doing this huge production for Netflix called My Father's Dragon. So that's going to be the next big feature from Cartoon Saloon.
All right. Simon? Sorry. And Ross? I just saw your names.
Well,
Simon
I'm
McBurney.
taking a year out to go back to painting because I have, like, you know, I kind of spend my time between animation and painting, so I'm taking a year out to paint, and I might try and do like a kids book as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, congratulations again, gentlemen, and thank you again for giving me your time. Everyone, please watch WolfWalkers as soon as you have the chance, whether on Apple TV or on theater if you get that opportunity. Thank you again, gentlemen, and I hope the biggest success to everything you're doing in the future.
Thank
Thanks
you
so
very
much,
much,
Ren.
Ren.
Thanks for
Cheers.
chatting to us.
So that is my interview with directors Tomm Moore and Ross Stewart talking about WolfWalkers. Please do check it out as soon as you have the chance. If it's still playing somewhere in LFF, if it's coming soon to your Apple TV Plus, if it's coming soon to a theater near you and you can go watch it in a theater as it should be seen in a safe manner, please do watch it. It's a fantastic movie. And again, thank you so much, Tomm and Ross. I really appreciate the interview, and thank you everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more LFF coverage in the form of reviews. And until the next video, please do remember to like, share, and subscribe because it really helps me and the channel out. But most importantly, above everything else, forever and always, love each other and love the movies.